children, I am Shaina Joy Reganyon, your Sunday school teacher, and I am here to tell you a story about the wise king named Solomon. So here we go!
King David wanted to build a house for God, but God spoke to him and said, "You are not to build a house for my name, because you are a warrior, and I have shed much blood. Your son Solomon is the one who will build my house. I have chosen Solomon to be king over Israel. When your time comes to an end, I will establish his kingdom forever, as long as he follows my commandments, as you have done." King David then appointed Solomon as king over Israel. Soon after, the Lord appeared to Solomon in a dream. God told Solomon, "Ask me for anything you want." Then Solomon answered, "You have shown such love and kindness to my father, King David, as he walked before you in truth and righteousness and served you with all his heart. You placed me on the throne as a king. Yet I am still a young man and do not know how to lead this great nation of Israel. Please give me a knowledge to know right and wrong, and an understanding heart so that I can lead your people as their king." God answered, "Since you have asked for this, instead of riches and long life, I will give you such great wisdom and understanding, that there will be no one like you before or after you. I will also give you what you did not ask for, riches and honor, such that no one has ever seen. If you walk in my ways and obey my laws and commands, like your father King David, then I will give you a long life." Several days later, two women came before King Solomon with a problem. They both live in the same house and each of them had a baby, just days apart from each other. One of the women said, "This woman's son died in the night. Because she lay on him, she got up in the middle of the night and took her dead son and put him next to me and took my son back to her bed. When I woke up the next morning, I saw that the baby was dead. As I looked closer, I knew that the baby was not my son." The other woman immediately said, "That's not true. The living one is my son, and the dead one is yours." They stood and argued before the king. Then the king Solomon said, "Bring me a sword." When they returned with the sword, the king gave an order, "Cut the living child in two, and give half to one mother, and the half to the other." As soon as the order was out of his mouth, the mother whose son was living yelled on my lord, "Give her the living baby. Please don't kill him." But the other woman said, "Neither you nor I will have him. Cut him in two." Then King Solomon ruled, "Give the living baby to the first woman. She is obviously the mother." All of the people of Israel were amazed at the wisdom of King Solomon in deciding this matter. They realized that God had given Solomon great wisdom. Solomon's wisdom was greater than any other man, and his fame spread to all the surrounding nations. During Solomon's lifetime, Judah and Israel were prosperous and lived in safety. Because of this, King Solomon had an outstanding amount of wealth, land, animals, vineyards, and anything he would ever need or want. King Solomon had such great wealth and riches that he began to plan for building the house of God. The house would store the Ark of God, which contained all the commandments that God had given to Moses on Mount Sinai many years before. The word of the Lord came to Solomon, "As for this house you are building, if you will keep all my commands and obey them, I will do what I have promised. I will live among the Israelites and not abandon my people." Israel in 480 years, after God commanded Moses to lead the Israelites out of Egypt, in the 4th year of King Solomon's reign, he began to build the house of the Lord. It took the builders 7 years to complete it. It was magnificent in every way. Inside the house and in a room was built that contained the Ark of God and was called the Holy of Holies. Many of the walls, floors, furnishings, and ceremonial objects were covered in gold or made of bronze. Solomon also built cities for his many chariots and horsemen. He built everything he desired in Jerusalem, and throughout his entire kingdom, King Solomon grew richer and wiser than any other king on earth. People from every nation came to hear the wisdom God had given him. But the story of Solomon does not end like it began. Solomon married many women from the surrounding nations who worshipped idols and gods created by man. In his old age, Solomon began to turn his heart to worship other gods, instead of being completely faithful to worship the Lord his God. As Solomon's reign came to an end, the anger of the Lord came upon him because of his disobedience. God decreed that after his death, Solomon's son Rehoboam would become king. God would then tear all the tribes of Israel away from Rehoboam except one from that day forward. Israel was split once again and led away from following God.